any prospect Muslim client, okay, please do not make it as the same how you interact while you are doing conventional estate planning. All right, because for us Muslim, we have our own distribution. For you guys as a non-Muslim, you guys also have your own distribution. Okay, so right now I will start on the Islamic estate planning, right? Sorry. Okay. So we seek your kind cooperation. This is not a product training session. This is only a refresher session. So meaning to say is just a refresh. Okay. So if let's say you guys are interested to join the full day training session, it will be on next month on September. All right. So if you guys have any questions, like I mentioned before, please post your questions in the chat box. Or if you guys have any questions before this, you guys might want to ask now, so you can just put on the chat box. All right. And only please ask the relevant questions only. Okay. And for today's agenda is only within 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's not 12 a.m. All right, it's Islamic product refresher. All right, so we go to the overview first. All right, so if you know Islamic, we also have our own estate planning. All right, so hold on. Okay, so what do we have in Islamic estate planning tools? Okay, right now, just for your information, maybe some of you guys do not familiar RHB trustees what we have in our products and services. All right, so at this moment, RHB trustees, of course, we have will and wasiat for both Muslim and non-Muslim. We do have private trust. Okay, and insurance trust provided that the clients are willing to pay for the stamp duty. All right, because maybe most of you guys aware that the LHD has imposed the stamp duty according to the sum assured. All right, so for Muslim Islamic estate planning, we only do have wasiat. Okay, so first is wasiat. And then hibah. Okay, hibah at the moment we discontinue the product. Okay, we are still in the discussing progress with our lawyer. So hibah is actually a different product from wasiat. Okay, please do not get confused. You think that wasiat is the same thing as hibah. No, it's a difference. Okay, mostly hibah is a bit more powerful than wasiat. Okay, maybe you guys, most of you guys are from the insurance line. So you know that when you give your clients, Muslim clients, insurance policy, products to your Muslim clients. So usually when they take this takaful punya policy, they will have an option to take hibah. So if let's say anything happens to these clients, all right, so if and we see that there is a hibah there, so all the monies will goes to the nominate person. All right, so that is hibah. All right, it's an outright gift. And hibah is not only for takaful policy. It can be your property, it can be your vehicles, anything, your bank's account, your cash, anything you can do hibah as long as it is free of encumbrances. Okay, so if you want to do hibah, you need to settle off all the debts, then only we can set up an hibah. But right now, most of the, we call it, not region, negeri, they already allowed to have hibah bersyarat. Means if you think that this property is still under loans, you still can do this hibah, but provided you need to have some condition. All right, maybe one of the condition is, okay, I know that this property is under loan, so you need to take MRTA, for example, up to 20 years, up to 30 years, then only you can hibah this property. Okay, so that is one thing of hibah, right? And then another thing under Islamic estate planning is harta sepencarian. Okay, some of other trustees, they exclude this harta sepencarian and be another products, okay, and exclude product, okay. So different product means wasiat is wasiat, harta sepencarian is harta sepencarian, okay. But for us in RHB trustees, we lump sum in, we make it together under wasiat. So if let's say you've seen our wasiat form, So you can see inside the form there is a harta sepencarian column over there, means section, harta sepencarian section over there. Okay, so what is harta sepencarian? This is where we will explain at the end of the session. Okay, what is harta sepencarian? What is the benefit of doing harta sepencarian? Okay, next is wakaf and sedekah, charitable donation. So maybe I think most of you guys have familiar on these two things. Maybe you guys have your own Malays friends, talk about sedekah, wakaf, but maybe you guys not know what is the difference of this. Okay, so actually it has a different. Okay, so first is wakaf. So maybe you dengar ke dekat TV, your Malay friends saying wakaf, wakaf. So wakaf is actually where you donate something, means like for example, okay, you punya, chair or bed or something that can be used, that can continuously use, for people. Alright, so for example, you ada donate bed sheet dekat hospital. So we know that it can be continuously used. You ada donate book, you ada donate any Quran ke, any books at charity. So we know that it's continuously used. So it's wakaf. So kita panggil itu wakaf. Alright. So the next thing is sedekah. So sedekah is also a different things. Okay, sedekah actually you don't need to have legal arrangement ke legal documents to have this sedekah. So usually sedekah is when macam we see some unfortunate people, duduk dekat tepi jalan, so we give them sedekah macam 5 ringgit ke 1 ringgit. So that is what we call sedekah. Okay, so it's actually not a product ke apa, no, it's just that this is under Islamic estate planning tools. All right, so when we do this, we know that we receive a good deed. All right, and lastly, trust. Okay, so maybe some of you guys ada tanya, can a Muslim do a trust? All right, so I need to inform you earlier that in RHB trustees, we do have a Muslim client that set up a trust. But you need to remind them when you setting up this trust is actually a non-Sharia compliance trust. Okay, so why is not a Sharia compliance? You when you want to have a license to have the Sharia compliance memang susah. Okay, so this trust, a Muslim still can do this trust. Macam a Muslim client take the policy, insurance policy, life insurance. Maybe that life insurance pun bukan under non-Sharia compliance. They still can buy that policy. So it's still the same apply macam dekat trust. So these clients set up a trust. So when they set up a trust, it's a different things. Most of them, they want to set up the trust because they want to supersede the Fara'id law. Okay, because most of them, they think that I have children, but all my children is a daughter. Okay, so I want to set up this trust to have some of this asset and protected under this trust. So a trustees will protect all these, asset inside this trust for all my children. Okay, so please remind if they say your clients have, some mind saying that, can I set up a trust? Yes, they can set up a trust, but you need to remind them that this is a non-Sharia compliance. Then from that, they are the one who decide whether they want to take it or not. Okay, so these are all the Islamic estate planning tools in in general. Okay, but for in RHB trustees, we only have wasiat and harta sepencarian. All right. Okay. All right, so why do we need proper estate planning? Okay, it's a different things when you have a non-Muslim clients. Most of the non-Muslim clients, they know that the importance of doing a will. Okay, they know that when I have this will, everything will be followed as per my wishes. Okay, so most of our non-Muslim clients, they know about this. They don't want their asset to be flow away, because you have your own distribution act. Okay, you don't want your spouse only to get this portion, your children to get this portion, and then your parents will get this portion. All right, so that's why you are doing a will writing. Okay, but for a Muslim, okay, it might be a different things because when you do a wasiat, okay, it still can be challenged. Okay, but you need to know the importance of having a wasiat. Okay, even when you approach a Muslim clients, okay, most of them they still have this mindset saying that why I need wasiat. Kenapa I perlu wasiat? Okay, because even not only yourself, even my side, myself and our side, okay, we receive a lot of Muslim clients when we ask them have they set up a wasiat. First thing they will ask why I need to have a wasiat. Okay, because we are Muslim. We have our own faraid law. This is the mindset that they have. But they do not know the awareness of doing a wasiat. They don't know what these wasiat documents can be done. Okay, so this is very important, means for your side and my side, means this is our responsibility, all right, to let them know, to have them the awareness by doing this wasiat. Okay, so of course, before we go further, why do we need a will? Why do we need a wasiat? Of course, we want to manage all the uncertainties. Okay, so of course, first thing foremost is not only to your clients. Okay, maybe you can ask this to your own self. Maybe I'm not sure whether all of you guys have your own will writing. Have you guys done your will writing? So maybe some of you guys from this 45%, I think 40%, most of another 5% I think is our from RHB trustees. So I need to know how many of you guys have done your will writing. I mean, have done your will, your own will. If you guys have done your will, maybe you can say yes in the chat box. I just need to know how many of you guys have done your own will. Okay, maybe you sibuk buat your own client punya will. Tapi you punya sendiri, you tak sempat-sempat siap. Okay, you sibuk, meet your client here, there, over here, pergi sana, pergi sampai other region, only to set up a will. But now yourself tak ada buat lagi. Alright, so okay, some of you guys say yes. So maybe yang tak cakap yes, maybe tak pernah buat will lagi. Okay, so now at the moment, I tak nak cakap this one direct to your clients. Maybe now I'm talking direct to you guys. Okay, you guys are my client. Okay, so now you imagine yourself. Okay, because you also don't know when are you going to pass away. Okay, maybe I'm a bit blunt, tapi we have to be, we have to plan. Okay, so because we never know, maybe after this, another 5 minutes, tiba-tiba you minum air tercekik, kita tak tahu. Okay, maybe masa you tidur, so we don't even know when is our, that time. Alright, so we have to be prepared. Because why? People only have the awareness on protecting their asset during their lifetime. Okay, they have the access to protect their property. They buy this insurance, but they always forget to protect their asset to their beneficiaries. Okay, so now you imagine, right? You imagine you punya spouse punya muka, you punya anak-anak punya muka, okay, yang you sayang, okay? So you imagine, okay, you dah buy a lot of property, you have a lot of asset. Okay, so how you want to protect this asset after you pass away? Okay, so this is still the same, apply to non-Muslim and Muslim clients. Okay, you just imagine what will happen to them. Do you ever think that when you pass away today, tomorrow you punya anak, you punya isteri dah boleh, kutip all the property? Okay, do you think that is the simplest way? No, all right, it's not going to be that easy. Okay, so that's why you need to remember, okay, bila I mati, what will happen to your asset? Okay, now maybe you have a lot of asset. Maybe you ada 3-4 rumah. Okay, ada 10 tanah. Okay, what will happen to your asset? Okay, yang you dah, you work hard too much on this asset, but what will happen after this? Who will inherit? Okay, and many people misconcepting that I think this asset will go to my spouse because I'm married to my spouse. Of course, she will get everything. Okay, so first thing you can fikir what will happen to your asset. Okay, and the next thing is what will happen to all your debts. So you don't think, okay, this one sama for non-Muslim, Muslim client. You don't think that bila you mati, you think all your debts will be forgiven. No. Okay, not at all. You jangan ingat, oh, I mati, hutang I semua tu, maybe dah, dah tak ada ke, bank tutup I punya hutang ke, no. Okay, so you need to know that when you pass away, all your beneficiaries, they still need to settle all your debts. Okay, we do have a lot of case about the debts during execution. Okay, most of the beneficiaries, they don't understand the process during execution. Okay, so they keep on, yelling at us, angry, saying that why we are still holding all this property. Okay, why we are still holding all the father asset. So you need to know first that we as a trustees, we have the power to hold all your asset until all your debts has been settled. Okay, so first thing, settle all your debts. So if let's say you are the insurance, your MRTA, then that's good. Okay, we also have some clients, dia beli banyak property because he is also one of the real estate punya agent. So he knows bila dia beli banyak property, 20 property, so he beli all the MRTA and can cover everything. So that's very good. Okay, so tapi yang ini you beli banyak rumah, tapi MRTA you maybe cover 5 tahun macam tu saja. So what about the rest? Siapa yang nak kena tanggung? Alright, so before we can distribute to your beneficiaries, you need to settle off all your debts. Okay, and then of course, what will happen to your loved one? Maybe you are the bread winner from the family. Okay, you sahaja yang bekerja. Your wife does not work. Okay, maybe some of you guys might take some insurance policy, if anything happens to me, my spouse akan dapat 1 million ke, 2 million, So some of them, they have this awareness. Okay, but still, what will happen to all your assets? Okay, maybe you want this car to be given to your spouse ke, to your children. Okay, because all need to be settled. Okay, you don't think that dual insurance can settle everything. Okay, maybe it can settle some of your debts, tapi of course they still need to survive. All right, and then the next thing is who. Okay, who can inherit your estate, all right, and can administrate your estate. So if you don't have any will, you don't have any wasiat, okay, who can administrate your asset? Your spouse, you punya son, you punya daughter, who can administrate? Siapa yang you paling percaya? Maybe you have a son, tapi your son drug addict ke apa, so if he can administrate it, so maybe he can just run away with the money. Okay, and who will be your minor guardian? So this is very important. So siapa, whoever still have a minor children, okay, so you tak sayang ke anak you. So you must have in your mind that I want to have someone that I very trust. If anything happens to both of us, means to my husband and myself, because maybe we travel a lot together. Okay, so if anything happens to my minor children, you pernah terfikir tak what will happen to them? Now you tiba-tiba mati. Then macam mana anak you? Who will take care of them? Okay, so we need to think deep on this. Okay, and when can your estate be distributed? Macam like I mentioned earlier, you pass away today, it doesn't mean tomorrow all your asset that can be distributed to all your beneficiaries. It will take a long time. Even when you have a will, still akan ambil masa juga. But when you have a will, at least it's already stated that clearly. Okay, without you having a will. Tak ada will lagi susah, because later on I will show you the process. Okay, and how will your estate distributed. Okay, so if your estate ada situ berjuta-juta, millions of asset, but you have an administrator, but your administrator don't know how to execute. Okay, so how? Maybe on the portion, on the distribution act, spouse get 1/2, but dia bagi maybe in different amount. Okay, so this is very important. And lastly, why we should plan ahead. Okay, so of course we want to manage all these uncertainties. Okay, someone maybe said that having wasiat is not sufficient. But of course, we really need to give awareness to all Muslim clients that having a wasiat is actually something to help you out during the execution process. Okay, so please take note, even you are a Muslim, a non-Muslim, foreigner apa sekalipun you punya identity, when you pass away, all your assets will be frozen automatically. Okay, until there is a proper estate administration procedure. Okay, so please remember, okay, even you are the safe deposit box kereta alright, all your asset will be frozen. Even you tahu your husband have a lot of money in bank accounts. Okay, you cannot just simply go to the bank saying that, oh, my husband dah pass away, so I need to take out the money. Do you ever think that this officer akan layan you even you are the legal wife? No. Alright, they only will wait either grant of probate or letter of administration. That's it. Okay, they don't care you are the wife, you are the mother you are the children's, they don't care. Okay, so please remember this. And this is one of the latest punya reports. Okay, some 90 billion worth of asset, mostly owned by Malays. So I'm not being racist ke apa, tidak. Okay, I'm being truthful that memang a lot of Muslim clients, they still don't have the awareness. Okay, because they think that kita ada faraid. Kenapa nak kena buat wasiat? Tak payahlah, tak payah. This is very common. Very common things that you hear from Malay people. Okay, maybe this generation, maybe they have awareness lah. Maybe they want to hear. But old generation people, they don't want to hear this because they think that we have faraid. So that is why your side kena counter all this problem. Okay, saying that, okay, yes, I know Malay people have faraid, but you need to know that we are, resetting in, kita duduk dekat Malaysia. So every country, they have their own law. So you have to follow. In order for you to follow to your faraid distribution pun, you still need to follow the law. You kena submit all these documents, everything. Baru you boleh dapat all the asset. Okay? So these are the latest. Okay, most of it are Malays. Okay, pergi dekat unclaimed. Okay, so the next thing, so most of my clients, okay, I like to share only this process. Okay, I just show this process, then that's it. Terus sign up. Okay, so maybe you can, counter your client saying that kenapa tak buat wasiat lagi, have you, appoint your own executor. You kena tahu what is the importance of having executor when you do a wasiat. Okay, so you need to know the difference because clients, they need to know what are the process because they don't know, because this is not what they do every day. All right, so they need to know what are the process. So you need to know, you let them know, okay, you know that when you pass away, okay, first, all your asset will be frozen. Okay, your wife your anak semua tak boleh kutip your asset. So they need to go through all this process in Malaysia. Okay, so you ask them, you imagine yourself do not have any wasiat at all. So we call it as intestate. Okay, intestate means no wasiat, no will. Okay, so this one only for Muslim. Okay, you need to apply sijil faraid at Mahkamah Syariah. Okay, only this sijil faraid you need to apply at Mahkamah Syariah. Okay, and then once you have the sijil faraid, I will show you later on how sijil faraid looks like. All right, then the next thing you need to move on, choose an administrator. Okay, so from this starting choose an administrator is a bit same how you do a conventional punya estate, for a non-Muslim. All right, so choose an administrator. Can you just simply choose administrator from, anyone? Because administrator, it needs to be from your family member, from your waris. Okay, so example, the father passed away, so the son is there, so son kata, okay, let me be the administrator. Okay, but what if the other family member does not agree? So you need to know. If one of them does not agree, example, the other son or the other daughter saying that, oh, I don't agree this my brother to become the administrator because I don't trust. So cannot jalan. So you need to remember, choosing an administrator, they need to have, consent from all the waris, from all the family members. Because High Court, we need to have all the consent. Then only you can be the administrator. Okay, so example, okay, consider son is the administrator, provided all agree. Okay, kalau tak agree, from this one part dah jadi masalah. Maybe gaduh sana, gaduh sini. Okay, maybe your family is not in a good condition ke semua busy. Okay, doesn't have time for this. So you dah imagine how hard it is. Okay, and then value the estate. So I'm not sure how many clients they have shared their property or their asset to their family members. Maybe they share to their spouse, all right? But how about the son? How about the daughter? Okay, maybe they don't share everything to all the family members, right? So maybe to only the spouse. But what if spouse also go together? So now the son need to find out what is your asset one by one. So you know now how difficult it is. So example, you have 10 banks in Malaysia lah. Example, RHB, Maybank, CIMB semua. So this son, they need to go to each bank and to find out whether that, this father ada, open account, from this RHB ke Maybank ke, okay? And you don't think that in one day they can just, respond to you. Maybe 1 to 2 weeks, 4 to 5, kita tak tahu. They also taking time, okay? So from there, penat, you dah penat, maybe you dah malas, so you stop. Okay, because you think that, oh, this take a lot of time. All right. So value the estate. Because why you need to value the estate? When you apply through the High Court, all right, they need to have a list down of your asset and your debts. Then only you can apply GP or letter of administration. Okay. So value the estate. And if you ask me, okay, is having a will, a basic will is a good thing. Okay, so from our side, okay, when a person do a basic will, actually we are also not advise them to do a very basic will. Okay, unless they have, identified all their asset to their spouse, then that's okay. But what if your spouse also don't know what is your asset? Okay, so for our side, it is good to have your clients to specify all the asset one by one. Okay, that's very good. I know that if let's say your clauses, become increase, the fees also become increased. But it's a good thing when you have clearly stated what is your asset inside there. Okay, so at least when your beneficiaries see your will, maybe they say, oh, I don't know that my father have this property. Oh, I don't know my father have this land over here. Okay, so at least it can help your beneficiaries to execute. Okay, so because we from our side also, we are the executor. Okay, of course we can find out what is your asset, but it will take time. Okay, we have to take time to, to find out what is your asset. But if the beneficiaries know what is all the asset, that is have to be a, shortcut for us, to apply the grant of probate. Okay, so by having a will, even I know that maybe the commission is not so great as what you receive in the insurance, but when you do a will, it's actually an open opportunity to all your services, means your own insurance. Because when you do a will, from there you know what is your client asset. So when you know, for example, you say that, oh, yeah, because when you jual insurance, you only jual macam ni saja. Okay, but when you do a will, okay, when your clients start to, specific all their asset one by one, So from there, you dah boleh, can sell another product. Means your insurance product. Example, oh, you have this property. You dah settle ke you punya property? I mean, do you still have debts in this property ke? Because you know that you need to settle off your debts, before it can distribute to your beneficiaries. So from there, you dah boleh jual insurance. So actually, by doing a will is an open opportunity to all your products. Okay, so that's why some of the smart agents, they like to do a will and specify all their asset. Then from there, it's open up to other opportunity as well. Okay, okay, come back to here. Okay, after dah value the estate, example lah, a few months, a few years, baru the son already find out what is the asset. Okay, then they need to find two sureties. Okay, who is the sureties? Okay, what is surety? Sureties ni macam guarantor lah. Example, father pass away with 2 million worth of asset. Okay, immovable dengan movable. Okay, 2 million example. Alright, so this son, the appointed administrator, he needs to find two guarantor. Okay, that has worth sama lah, means 2 million and above. Sama asset, sama amount and above. Why? If let's say anything happens, okay, administrator run away with the money ke ada fraud, anything happens lah, alright? So this guarantor will most likely to ganti rugi balik. We call it macam ganti rugi lah. So now I ask you, I ask your side, even you can ask your side lah, okay? You rasa, okay, ada kira-kira in my head, I think I have about 1 million asset. So if I tak ada wasiat, so my beneficiaries need to find out another guarantor. So you tanya diri you, maybe orang lain pun tanya you, Chong, you mau jadi I punya sureties tak? You dah dengar guarantor, you dah dengar sureties pun you takut. So if let's say orang lain nak jadi you punya guarantor, you think ada tak orang nak jadi you punya guarantor? Okay, at this kind of situation, at this kind of economic, you pun takut. Because if let's say anything happen, administrator run away, I kena ganti rugi. Okay, so this is very important to, state to your clients one by one, because they don't have this awareness. They thought that, ingat, very simple. Unless you have a small estate, then they can waive for it. Okay, and then only you can apply letter of administration. So letter of administration is actually a person pass away without a wasiat. So bila you dengar dekat mahkamah ke kat, pejabat tanah ke, kat pejabat tanah, so when you hear LA, so you know that, oh, okay, this person passed away without a wasiat. Okay, so right now, after that, this one, column on the intestate means a person passed away without a wasiat, without a will. Okay, the next one, testate. A person passed away with a will or a wasiat. Okay, so you see the difference. Maybe you tengok yang intestate ni, alah, I think a few steps only, very simple. No. Okay, if you have any experience or your friends have any experience on this, you can ask them how many years they take. And please, you cannot compare your asset dengan orang lain punya asset. Please. Maybe your great uncles, great aunties ke, great grandma ke, maybe you dah pernah execute saying that, I think masa I buat my father punya last time, 1 year dah boleh siap. 1 tahun dah boleh siap. Simple je. So you don't ever compare, because your asset and other person punya estate different. Value difference, semua difference. Okay, maybe bila small estate, they don't have to go to the high court. Okay, maybe very simple and they don't have any debts. Maybe got one property and sikit cash. So that's why that is very easily can be executed. Tapi if let's say you have worth of berapa million asset, you don't ever perasan yang you can settle it within 1 year ke 2 years. Okay, lagi-lagi kalau you have a lot of debts. Okay, so please, you don't hear to other person punya cerita. Jangan rasa orang ni buat 1 year dah boleh siap, orang ni buat 2 months dah boleh siap, 3 months dah boleh siap. Because all person, all condition is very different. Okay, so testate. Still the same. Even you have a wasiat, you still need to apply sijil faraid. This is only for Muslim, okay? So if non-Muslim, you straight away skip, apply GP, grant of probate. So you C, when you have the will, you dah terus can apply your GP. Okay, so apply GP grant of probate bila we know that GP grant of probate, so we know that this person passed away with a will. Okay, so bila you dah apply grant of probate, then only you collect all your asset. Okay, and then advertise in Gazette. Alright, clear debt first. So kena settle all your debts. Then only any balance from your estate, distribute all this to your beneficiaries. So understand? Do you really understand on the estate administration process? So this is the only thing and you can show to your clients what is the importance. Okay, why do we need to have a will? So you can just show this to them. You explain to them one by one. Then from there maybe you know terbuka hati wants to do a will or wasiat. Okay, so please remember, even you ada wasiat ke tak ada wasiat, every asset, every estate, every person semua lain-lain. Okay, do not ever compare. Right? Okay, so these are the example of sijil faraid. Okay, so as you can see here, sijil faraid is for Muslim. So when we go and apply sijil faraid at Mahkamah Syariah, so Mahkamah, the judge will ask, okay, who is the person who passed away? So example, father. Okay, so your father left siapa? Means siapa yang dia tinggalkan? Okay, the mother. Okay, because we know Muslim actually they can marry up to 4 wives. So you need to clearly justify to the judge saying that okay, ada 4 wives. Okay, the first wife anak siapa. Second wife anak siapa. So you need to jujur when you are doing the sijil faraid. Okay, so from there they will give you all the portion lah. So these are the sijil faraid. Okay, faraid portion, anak lelaki dapat berapa, anak perempuan dapat berapa, and if ada isteri pun, isteri dapat berapa. So it's already stated here clearly. So because for us Muslim, kita cakap faraid. Okay, but we don't exactly know. Some of them, they tahu faraid. But some of them, they don't know how to calculate. They don't know what is the portion. Okay, so that's why we have this Mahkamah Syariah. So they will count for us. Okay, you actually can count, you boleh cari dekat Google. Okay, you can just type faraid calculator. Okay, so when you meet your Muslim client, so maybe dorang akan cakap faraid. So maybe you can say, Ali, you know what is your faraid portion to your family member? So maybe dia kata, oh, I pun tak sure lah, I tak pastilah. So at least you can show to them, oh, I think we can try to count for you. Okay, so this is the faraid portion. So your wife will get this amount, your son will get this amount. Okay, at least they can, a bit like appreciate you. Oh, I tak tahu pun ada Google, faraid calculator ke apa. But please remind that any Google faraid calculator yang you find in the Google ke apa, please don't think that it's a finalized punya portion. It's just a reference only. Okay, only at Mahkamah Syariah they will decide and finalize what is the faraid portion. Okay, so these are one of the example lah, right? So you see here this article 50 tahun baru selesai kes tuntutan tanah pusaka. Okay, it's a long timeline. Okay, so some of the people macam I cakap ada aset yang lain-lain. Okay, you don't make it a same thing. Kata my grandpa buat sekejap je 1 year I dah boleh settle. No, it's a difference. Lagi-lagi if you have a huge amount of asset. Okay, so you need to know when you intestate dengan testate. Okay, there is a process. Okay, within that ada proses yang you need to kena buat. You need to go to the high court, pejabat tanah lah. You don't know, even you go to high court pun tiba-tiba your application kena got cancel, kena batal, kita tak tahu. Alright, so you need to know all this timeline. Lagi-lagi when you have you bekerja, okay, you ada your own life, you ada your own work. So if you want to manage other person punya estate, so you imagine it can take how long. Okay, you don't have time. Alright, so because when we go to the court hearing, okay, the court hearing will give us the date. Bukan we are the one who give them the date. So if let's say you cannot attend, then you kena cancel, reschedule again. Alright? So these are some summary for you guys to know the intestate dengan testate punya duration. Okay? So I want to say you RHB trustees take to execute a will. Okay, so maybe some of you guys have heard from your other friends ke other beneficiaries saying that ayo RHB trustees buat kerja lambat lah, RHB trustees delay lah, tak nak buat kerja. Okay, so you need to understand first. It's not that we are simply delayed to everything. Okay, you need to know the process. So that's why even we are the trustees. Okay, we will work with our panel lawyer as well. Okay, macam I cakap case to case. So when we do the will reading session, okay, so once you pass away, so we will start the job once you inform us. Because we as RHB trustees also, we don't know when you pass away. Okay, tiba-tiba you dah mati 6 bulan lepas, then suddenly your beneficiaries come, okay, cakap kenapa RHB tak execute lagi. So kat situ a bit funny lah. So like how RHB trustee know that your father or your mother passed away. So one of the beneficiaries, they need to inform RHB. So that's why when you do a will, you need to inform all your beneficiaries. You don't need to let them know what are the content. So at least you let them know you have a will with which trustees. So at least they can take a step forward. So when they knew about that, so they come to RHB, okay, my father already passed away, so I want you to execute the will. So when we execute, we also have a process here. So we do a will reading session with all the beneficiaries. And usually trustees, most of the trustees, we have the power not to follow any beneficiary's instruction. Okay, we will follow exactly what is stated inside the will. Okay, we don't need any of your instruction, any of your additional instruction, no. But we are still being flexible to the beneficiaries. So some of the beneficiaries, wants to change, for example, inside the will, example, testator kata nak jual kereta. But maybe beneficiary say, oh, I think we don't want to sell the car, I want to just transfer the name. Okay, so maybe that we can work it out. Okay, so before we nak apply grant of probate pun, beneficiaries will take time untuk discuss because we will have a concern from all the beneficiaries. Some of the beneficiaries don't want to cooperate. Some of the beneficiaries, kerja dekat luar negara, so these are some of the situation that most of the beneficiaries tak nampak. Okay, so beneficiaries tak nak, tak nak cooperate, and then when we want to apply at grant at the High Court, usually we will ask beneficiaries to confirm. Okay, is this the only asset and debts? Because if let's say we already give the finalized asset and debts dekat High Court, example, suddenly another 1 year during execution, tiba-tiba you come to RHB saying that, oh, I think my father got another property. So we need to reapply the grant of probate, not need to restart again all the job. Okay, so you need to know all the steps. Okay, maybe you guys don't have any experience, but this is what we face every day. Okay, so if let's say you guys need to know how long grant of probate will take, okay, last time it can be 2 to 3 months. Okay, but this time our execution team told us that High Court maybe cakap kemungkinan a bit late lah, means can be 4 to 6 months, 6 to 8 months. So from our side also, we do not want to promise anything to the beneficiaries. Okay, because when we promise them saying that 2 to 3 months, tiba-tiba High Court pun tak keluarkan lagi. So our side also start because we have to wait at the High Court because everything from High Court. Okay, we cannot push High Court. We just need to wait for them. Okay, so anything from High Court, so this one also, that's why some grant of probate can out like 2 3 months. Some of the case 4 to 6 months, kena tunggu. Okay, so the next one, okay, faraid. So I dah talk about on the estate administration. Now we go to faraid. So you pernah dengar your Muslim client cakap faraid, faraid. Maybe most of you guys already familiar about these faraid things. Okay, so what is actually faraid? So faraid in the section of the Islamic law that deals with the distribution of the estate of a deceased person among his heirs in accordance with God decree in Holy Quran. Okay, and according to the hadith or tradition of the messenger of Allah. Okay, so this one maybe a bit for you guys to translate this thing. Okay, but mostly faraid is about distribution, okay, to our faraid. Okay, faraid, waris kita lah, means our waris. Okay, so there's a portion over there. Okay, so that is what we call faraid. Okay, so for us Muslim, most of our asset will be given to our faraid heirs. Okay, same as you guys have your own distribution act. It will go to your family members. Okay, so who is our legal heirs? Okay, who is our waris? Okay, it has to be rights of succession. First, need to be blood ties. Nasab, we call it, is in Arabic punya term lah. Okay, so my father, my mother, my son, my daughter, okay, is my blood ties. So first, legal heirs, first right of succession is already there. So the second one, if I'm married, a valid marriage between husband and wife, so my husband is also one of my rights of succession. And the third one need to be Islam. So from all these my blood ties, okay, if I the father, I are the mother, they need to be Islam in order for them to have my rights of succession. Okay, example, ada this one family, Muslim. Suddenly one of the son keluar agama Islam lah, example. Okay, don't want to practice Islam. So means not Islam. So when this son keluar Islam, okay, out from Islam, so this son is not the legal heirs anymore. It's not the rights of succession and cannot inherit anything. Okay, even though dia adalah blood ties. Okay, so you need to have all these three in order for you to have the rights of succession. Okay, so this is for Muslim one. All right, so on the dotted box below is not our rights of succession. Please remember, it's not. Okay, so if I have adopted child, even a legal adopted child, that legal adopted child also is not my rights, my succession. Okay, so if I pass away, I didn't do any declaration to my adopted child, they will not inherit anything. Okay, so stepson, stepdaughter, maybe you guys, okay, I think you guys know already what is stepson, stepdaughter. So they are also not my rights of succession because they are not my blood ties. Maybe they are my husband blood ties, but not my blood ties. Okay, and illegitimate child. Illegitimate child is anak luar nikah lah. Okay, so anak luar nikah ni we call as anak tak sah taraf. Even this illegitimate child, they cannot bring the father's name. Okay, illegitimate child ni anak tak sah taraf, usually they get child before their marriage age, which is very sensitive to our Muslim, in our Muslim tradition. Kita tak, for us Muslim, we cannot have a child before marriage. But when you do have that, okay, even this boyfriend and girlfriend still get married, all right, they cannot bring the father's name. And if the father pass away, this child cannot inherit anything from the father's side. They can only inherit from the mother's side. So this is illegitimate child. Okay, and marriage, if let's say divorce, husband and wife divorce, so they cannot inherit anything from the ex-wife side or the ex-husband side. Okay, divorce memang cannot get anything lah. Okay, and invalid marriage. So what is invalid marriage? Okay, so you know that for us Muslim, we can marry up to 4%. All right, so if let's say this husband already married with one person, suddenly he wants to marry with another wife, second wife lah. So in Malaysia, when you want to marry with another wife, you need to have the consent from the first wife. If let's say the first wife bagi, then only you can marry here lah. So that's why You can hear banyak cerita orang berkahwin dekat Thailand, dekat luar negara. Because of why? If let's say diorang kahwin sana, diorang okay lah, diorang can kahwin. Okay, so that's why diorang lari sana, because most of them kahwin senyap-senyap and they don't have the consent from the first wife. Okay, but the marriage over there is sah lah, we call it is a valid marriage actually. It's just that when you come to Malaysia, you need to register and you have a penalty to pay. Okay, so what is invalid? Okay, maybe invalidly, if you married, example, ada in certain area in Indonesia, we don't declare as a valid marriage. Okay, some of them kita tak declare as valid marriage. So when they come to Malaysia, they have to kena buat another session lah. Macam kena berkahwin semula dengan cara yang sah. Okay, so convert. So if let's say you convert, okay, maybe most of you guys have some mu'alaf friend ke. Okay, so these mu'alaf friends, if let's say dia tak kahwin, a single lah, okay, a single, suddenly pass away. So the other family member does not convert yet. Okay, maybe most of them is not Muslim. So they cannot entitled anything. Because first, you tengok balik dekat rights of succession, kena Islam. Now, blood ties, of course, they are blood ties, but they are not Islam. So they cannot inherit anything. So maybe you ask me, okay, Ain, if they cannot inherit anything, so where does this asset goes? So it will goes to pusat zakat. Baitul Mal lah. Okay, Baitul Mal is pusat zakat. So all the asset will go to pusat zakat. Alright? But if they married with Muslim, got another kids, so maybe if pass away, maybe the wife and the kids will have the inheritance. But the other family members yang non-Muslim will get nothing. Okay, so these are some of the general rights of succession. Okay, so the next one is, okay, so now how I want to determine who is my faraid heirs. Okay, so from my side, okay, kita in Muslim kita ada primary, substitute, secondary, ada layer lah. We have faraid layer. Okay, so when we go to Mahkamah Syariah, they will ask who is the layer lah, one by one. They will ask whether ada mother ke son. So they will go to this primary group first. Okay, so you see this primary group. Okay, so in my side, I got husband, I'm the wife. I still got my two parents, both parents lah, my mother and my father. I don't have a son yet, but I have a daughter. Okay, so in order that I do not want my asset to go to this substitute punya, yang this center, I need to have at least a father or son. At least the 2% lah. Okay, for them to stop my asset to go to substitute and secondary layer. Okay, so that's why bila you tengok orang Muslim kata ada anak lelaki, wah, ada anak lelaki very kuat lah. So actually, why we know that? We know that when we have a son, we know that our asset just, turn on our family members saja. It will not go to the second layer, secondary layer. It will not go sampai adik-beradik to our siblings. Okay, so when we pass away, when we do have either father or son, so our asset will only circulate in this primary group. Okay, what if don't have father, don't have son? So it will go to the substitute group. They will find a stopper over there. Kalau stopper tak ada, then only will go to the secondary. So secondary, of course, your siblings lah, my siblings. So my siblings I ada sister, I ada brother. So it will go, my asset will go sampai sana lah to all my siblings. So these are the primary, substitute and secondary layer lah. So this is a very basic one. Tapi if let's say you nak tengok lagi details, you can, if you have time or you want to know more on this, you can just find out in Google lah what is the faraid layer. Nanti you akan lagi pening lah, you boleh tengok adik, kakak punya anak, something like that, very confusing. Tapi because we in Muslim, we need to be very clear on this. Okay, we cannot lie who is our faraid ke, who is our waris. Okay, even in Mahkamah Syariah also, they will ask you to angkat sumpah that this is the only faraid heirs yang ada. Okay, So maybe if you have a client, maybe you can focus on the primary group first. You can ask them, okay, who is your family members? Do you have any adopted children? Stepson, stepdaughter? Because when I do my wasiat for my Muslim clients, I need to be a bit details and bit transparent to them. Okay, need to be very open. Okay, and they also need to be very open to me because for my side is my responsibility because I do not want to give a difference, advice. I don't want later on suddenly I know that they have another son, they have another daughter. Okay, so these are the faraid layers. And total exclusion. Okay, non-Muslim cannot inherit from a Muslim under faraid. So macam you tengok previously under sijil faraid. So most of the sijil faraid, of course, is our faraid heirs lah. Okay, which already stated there clearly. And non-Muslim cannot inherit anything. Suddenly you ada awet ke, your mistress is non-Muslim. Suddenly nak claim this faraid punya portion, they cannot. All right. And if one causes the death of the disease, either intentionally or unintentionally, he cannot inherit. Example, okay, if let's say these clients have son, because we know in Muslim, son will got the most. Suddenly bila dia tahu, dia kata, oh, I think I anak lelaki, so I dapat banyak harta my dad. So maybe they intentionally kill the father, ke bunuh his father. So, of course, trustees, we don't have power on, to investigate this matter. So maybe we leave it to the police. So when they have the report saying that, okay, sebenarnya anak lelaki yang bunuh. So this son will be excluded. They cannot inherit anything. So dua-dua rugilah. You dah bunuh ayah you pun dah rugi. And then you cannot inherit pun. Alright. So causes the death of the disease cannot inherit anything. Even you are the blood ties. You, macam tadi you the rights of succession, you cannot inherit anything because you kill, maybe your father ke your mother in order you not inherit, tapi lalas you cannot inherit. Okay? Faraid certificate. Okay. Most of our Muslim clients were still confused. They thought that by having the faraid certificate, will can go to the bank and cash out everything. No. Macam I cakap, only grant of probate and letter of administration. Only these two things can enable you to distribute to your beneficiaries. Please remember, faraid, no. Faraid itu is just a reference. The reference sahaja untuk you. Untuk check, okay, my son will receive this portion. That is only reference. That's it. Tapi untuk distribute to your beneficiaries, probate and NA. Only these two things. Okay, faraid certificate is not. Okay, please remember this. Alright. So, before we go to another chapter is wasiat, I think we can go some of our Q&A sessions kejap. Okay. Hold on. I check one by one first. Okay, so from Ting Sunny, today training materials and form can share to us. I think when you receive the email for the invitation, we already give you the training punya slide. So maybe you can check back at the link. Alright, so Rachel Wong, do we need bank consent to do hibah bersyarat? Bank need to sign on the hibah document. Okay, so actually the bank, where only some trustees company you can do hibah. Okay, so Rachel, when you want to do hibah, you need to go to some trustees company or lawyer firm that do this hibah bersyarat. Okay, so one signs and everything, then only is a legal arrangement. So bila dah legal arrangement, everything's complete in order, then only the executor or whoever trustees yang appointed there, they will take out all the monies and will give to the beneficiaries in the hibah. Okay, so if let's say wants to do any hibah, you need to go to trustees company or lawyer firm lah. You need to do the document first. Alright. Okay, the next one. Oh, okay. So Cheryl already showed the training slide. Okay, you can have a look there. Okay. Do RHB trustee offshore? Okay, Cheryl, we didn't answer this one. Okay, so the next one, if Chinese lady married to a converted Muslim, okay, this man Chinese married to Muslim but then divorced. So this Chinese lady is also Muslim, right? Then I have to do wasiat for her. Okay, so if you married to any Muslim, you need to convert. Okay, of course you need to convert lah. Even after that you practice ke you tak practice, you are still a Muslim. Okay, so even you married a Muslim, you have to do wasiat. You need to do a wasiat. You cannot do a will. Okay, because you married a Muslim, you should be a Muslim. Okay, so you need to do wasiat for her. Okay. Okay, Lee Kok Hong, adakah benar wasiat boleh dicabar? Okay, adakah benar wasiat itu kepada waris? Okay, so Lee Kok Hong, okay, wasiat ni boleh dicabar. Okay, I will go to this wasiat punya session after this. This one I akan answer on this session lah, on the wasiat. Okay, Kok Hong? Okay, Louis is wasiat can only will away 1/3. This one, Louis, I akan answer on this wasiat part. We will go after this. Alright. Tan I Chu, kalau testator dah appoint executor, tapi waris tak setuju dan tak bagi death certificate. Alright. Executor masih boleh dapat grant of probate. Alright. Tan I Chu, you need to know, when the testator appoint an executor, should be executor cannot be challenged. Okay, only the executor part. Alright. So actually, if let's say dia tak nak bagi death certificate, so how you want to execute the will? Okay. So usually executor kalau dia betul-betul ada, they actually can get the death certificate. Okay, because some of the negeri they can give you the death certificate. Tapi of course lah, because if waris tak setuju, if let's say they still don't want to execute the will, okay, because for us Muslim, kita akan ikut faraid. However, kita akan ikut faraid. Okay, so if they don't agree, actually it's up to them lah. Okay, tapi for our side, we already do the wasiat. Okay, should be they need to give the death certificate. Even if you have the copy, CTC copy pun, it's sufficient. So, ada negeri executor can claim on the death certificate. Okay, ada negeri belum boleh. Hanya waris sahaja yang boleh claim death certificate. Okay, so on this case, this one up to the waris lah. Tapi usually kalau you tak nak ikut wasiat, then you have to go without a will lah, because this one also you pun tak boleh nak go to the high court, challenge this thing. Okay, because a bit susah lah. Kalau you nak challenge, executor tak boleh nak go to this will, maybe some lawyer can help you. So this one case to case basis juga. Okay. Sorry. Okay, ada lagi tak soalan? Okay, that's it. Okay, so for Lee Kok Hong and Louis punya, so I go to this wasiat punya session. Okay, so wasiat. Alright, so what is wasiat? Okay, so wasiat is actually a declaration lah, sama macam will. You do a declaration of a person made during his lifetime with respect to his property or benefit, and to be carried out for the purpose of charity or for any other purpose permissible by Islamic law after his death. Okay, so wasiat is also a will, a declaration that what you have made into your wasiat means who is your executor, how is the distributions, okay, who will be the beneficiaries. Okay, so actually it's the same. Okay, so before we go deep details, okay, so wasiat concept, you need to know the wasiat concept first. All right, so a person that making the wasiat is still the same, we call them as a testator. Okay, sama juga you Muslim ke non-Muslim, you buat wasiat, we call you as a testator. Okay, so your wasiat is a valuable document and should be kept with a custodian to ensure its safekeeping. Okay, so I ask you, you simpan, whoever already done your will, I need to know where you keep your will. Okay, so maybe you can type in the chat box, whoever yang cakap yes tadi, that already done your will, where do you keep your will? Nah, kat mana you simpan you punya will? Maybe you can type in chat box, I need to know where you keep. Tapi you don't worry lah, I don't know lah where your house is. Okay, I just need to know first lah where you keep your will. Okay, is it bawah bantal ke, dekat bawah katil ke, dalam oven ke, dalam almari ke? Okay? Okay, so Venus dengan Louis cakap trust this company. Mi lokong? Apa itu mi lokong? Milo punya tin lah. Okay, so if you ask me, okay, mana tempat yang paling bagus untuk simpan you punya will? Right? So of course, clients akan jawab, I will keep in my safe deposit box. I sudah bayar mahal loh. So kita ada seorang Lau Paik Loan, dia cakap safe deposit. So when I have my clients, I will ask them, do you want to subscribe our custody? Okay, then they said, why I need to subscribe your custody? I already have my safe deposit box. I sudah bayar mahal. Okay, so I said to them, do you know that safe deposit box is also one of your asset? And if you pass away, your safe deposit box also frozen? Then diorang baru terkejut. Ayo, ya ke? Safe deposit boleh frozen ke? So my family member cannot take my will. So cannot. So I ada baru dengar satu cerita from my client itself. Dia dah penat-penat execute her father's punya will. Okay, turun naik mahkamah, pergi pejabat tanah, pergi sini JPJ, sudah penat for 2 to 3 years. Suddenly when they open the safe deposit box, the will is there. So you imagine now, siapa-siapa, some of you guys who keep your original will in your safe deposit box, or your clients who keep in your safe deposit box, please take out. Okay? Because if anything happens to you, safe deposit box you tak boleh buka. Unless kalau join, okay lah. If the joint one still survive, then okay lah. Okay? But if let's say both of you pass away, or single name, you just pass away, so how you want to open the safe deposit box? So please remember, okay, you just ask your client, why you don't keep in RHB trustees? Okay, RHB trustees kita bukan simpan dekat almari ke, dekat office, no. We keep in the vault room. So vault room you tengok dalam drama tu, pusing-pusing all the roda semua, we keep in the vault room. So very safe over there. Okay, I know the custody fee is a bit mahal lah, expensive, 1,000. But it's a lifetime custody. Kalau you hidup 100 tahun, you only pay 1,000, so you think it's worth it? Okay? Because it's lifetime, 1,000, and we keep it in the vault room. Memang selamat. So if you have a will, even you don't want to open RHB pun, you can keep the will here. So if anything happens, you just inform your beneficiaries saying that, I have a will in RHB trustees. I keep that. Okay, because I have a custody. So if anything happens to me, you go take out my will, then you can execute. So please, okay, you jangan simpan bawah bantal ke, dalam almari. Tiba-tiba banjir. Tiba-tiba rumah terbakar. How? Okay, so you need to counter all your clients. Okay, I usually akan suruh my clients macam mana pun subscribe the custody. Okay, because later on tiba-tiba you dah 5-4 tahun datang RHB kata will I hilang. I punya will sudah hilang, I tak tahu letak mana. I pindah rumah, pindah 2-3 rumah, tak tahu will letak mana. So you see the consequence, kita tak akan reprint. We won't reprint. You kena buat will yang baru. Okay, so please at least you kena bagi tahu you punya client keep in RHB trustees in the vault room where your beneficiaries can retrieve out. Okay, then executor. So when you appoint executor, okay, bila you buat wasiat, you can name this executor person. Alright, so executor for Islamic estate planning, you can only appoint a Muslim executor. Okay, some of estate planner ask us whether we can appoint a non-Muslim. Can a guardian appoint a non-Muslim also? No. Okay, executor, guardian, it needs to be a Muslim. Okay, so mostly we will advise family members to become the executor. All right, and please remember for wasiat, witness, we need to have two Muslim male, then only it's valid. Okay, so that's why bila you ada custody dengan kita, we can check. We can check saying that, oh, okay, ini dua lelaki Muslim sign, valid. At least we know. Ini you tak ada custody. And then you pun tak bagi tahu clients. You don't tell your clients who will need to be the witness. Your client pun suka-suka hati bagi perempuan yang sign. Maybe dia bagi the non-Muslim untuk sign the wasiat. So it's not a valid will. Okay? So wasiat and will for conventional is different. For will, for convention non-Muslim, sesiapa can be the witness. Anyone can be the witness. Muslim ke non-Muslim, perempuan, lelaki can be the witness. I pun mostly I akan jadi witness to my non-Muslim client. But if let's say I want to do a wasiat for me because I'm a Muslim, I need to have two Muslim men. So please remember. So you need to remind your clients. Kalau dia die don't want to take the custody, then you remind them. Okay, you need to have two Muslim male to become the witness. Okay, and what is the witness punya responsibility? Okay, so during lifetime, okay, when they sign the will or the wasiat, they need to make sure that this testator in sound of mind. Okay, saying that orang yang buat wasiat ni masih sihat, okay, masih okay, tak gila ke, okay. So that is the witness punya responsibility. Because why? When you pass away, when the testator pass away, so the lawyer will find these two witnesses. They will call up, okay, and you need to sign some affidavit documents in front of Commissioner of Oath. Okay, but what if your witness cannot be found or pass away, cannot be located? Okay, don't worry, your will is still valid. Okay, it's just that the lawyer need to do some affidavit documents lah, saying that witness pass away. Okay, the witness cannot be located. All right, so it's still valid. It's up to your clients, because some clients, they still concerned. They said that, oh, my witness already passed away, I want to do a new one with the new witness. It's up to you. But if you ask us whether really needs to do a new wasiat or new will, don't have, because it's still valid. Okay, and the next one, of course, you need to state who is the beneficiaries. So beneficiaries is the person to inherit or benefit under the wasiat. So you need to list down who is the beneficiaries. Okay, so this is the wasiat concept. So it's different. Okay, executor lah, mostly executor, guardian, and the witness. This is different lah, because needs to be Muslim, and for witness, two Muslim male. Okay. All right. So the distributions. So answer to the Louis and Kok Hong punya questions. So wasiat distribution. Okay, you need to know when you do wasiat, there are several ways you can do in wasiat. Okay, the first thing, you can distribute up to 1/3. Okay, this is the first way. Okay, first way. Remember, you can distribute up to 1/3. 1/3 to whoever you want. Okay, it's not limited to your faraid heirs, not limited to your family members. Example, you have adopted child. Remember, adopted child, I mentioned to you, adopted child is not our rights of succession. So you think that, oh, I want to give something to this adopted child. So you can do wasiat, but only distribute 1/3, cannot be more than that. Okay, so 1/3 give to this adopted child. Or you have a best friend, a non-Muslim best friend. Okay, maybe your non-Muslim best friend ada tolong you ke, maybe during your lifetime dia banyak tolong you, so you want to give something, so you can give 1/3. So 1/3 to my Muslim, non-Muslim friends. And maybe if let's say you have a converted Muslim friends, so dia kata, I know that maybe most of my asset will not given back to my family members, but at least I want to give something. What I can give to my non-Muslim family members. So this is one. You can only give 1/3. Okay. So it's up to you, 1/3 of your whole estate, 1/3 only from your bank's account. So it's up to you. Okay. So this is distribution of 1/3. So maybe now you understand what is 1/3. So maybe before this you ada dengar 1/3, 1/3 you ingat only 1/3 can given to the family members. No. Okay. One way 1/3 is to be given to the non-faraid members. Okay. So this is one thing. One way lah. By declare in the wasiat. Tapi kalau you bercakap dekat mulut sahaja, by verbally, maybe you cakap dekat you punya kawan, nanti I mati you take 1/3 of my asset. No, it cannot be accepted. You need to write a wasiat. Okay, so this is one way. Okay, so only 1/3 of the estate can be distributed by the wasiat. The 1/3 beneficiaries must be not Quranic heirs, means not faraid heirs lah. Okay, and the assessment of 1/3 value is done at the time of applying at the High Court for probate. Okay, and the remaining 2/3 distribute to your faraid heirs. Okay, so understand. Okay, 1/3 to your non-family heirs. You cannot more than 1/3. Okay, cannot be more than that. Okay. The next one, the second way. Okay, macam tadi only 1/3. Second way, you want to have your own distribution. Like how you do the conventional one. Macam you buat non-Muslim kan. So when you do the non-Muslim, you can do whatever distribution you want. Example, this property to my spouse. If my spouse does not survive, to my both children ke. You know, your own distribution. 50-50, 70-30. In wasiat, you can also do the same thing, your own distribution. Macam you buat will, exactly how you do the will. You can do inside the wasiat, but when you follow your own distribution, during the execution, all your family members need to agree. They need to have the consent. Consent only come upon execution, not during lifetime. Okay, you cannot have the consent during lifetime. So example, in my father's will, my father do his own distribution. He want this car to be given to this person, this money to be shared equally, everything to be shared equally. Okay, he don't want to follow the faraid portion. Okay, which has been issued in Mahkamah Syariah. Okay, example, Mahkamah Syariah bagi this portion. But my father wants to follow his own distribution. It can be done, but at the end of the day, during execution, all the family members need to agree. So we need to ask each of us. Okay, I need to ask my brother, I need to ask my mother, I need to ask the other sister. So I said, okay, our fathers has already written a will, already written a wasiat. He wished not to follow the faraid portion. Okay, but he wants to follow his own distributions. So everyone agree, even though brother you will have this portion by Mahkamah Syariah, mother you will have this portion by Mahkamah Syariah. Okay, but now fathers said he want to distribute equally. Okay, so if everyone agree, it can be executed. So it can be followed lah as per the wasiat. Okay, so Loy Kok Hong ada tanya, adakah boleh dicabar? Yes, if let's say the father do the distribution, his own distribution, right? Okay, on the executor part cannot challenge. Okay, they cannot challenge the if let's say the son only challenge this one asset lah. Okay, example, in the wasiat, father said, I want to distribute equally. Suddenly the son say, oh, I don't agree. Means they challenge, say that I don't agree, I want my portion, I want my faraid portion. Maybe dia dah kira-kira yang equally tu lagi kurang daripada dia punya portion lah, example. So he said, I want my own portion. So it's not that the whole wasiat is being challenged and cannot be used. No. Okay, only the gift part, okay, will be challenged. So if let's say we discuss again, okay, brother has challenged his right. So he wants his portion. How about others? Anyone wants to challenge? Anyone want his your own portion? So if let's say anyone say, okay, we just follow exactly in the wasiat, the portion of the brother give to him lah. Alright, so we will give to the brother portion as per faraid, and the rest balance share equally. Okay, so like if you ask me, is it can be challenged? Yes, wasiat still can be challenged. Even you do a will, okay, will also can be challenged. Okay, but still it's a bit difficult to challenge. Will usually most of the people challenge because they said that we have some cases where dia kata mother do rewrite case tapi is not in sound of mind. Okay, will you can challenge on that way lah. But mostly wasiat you can challenge if they say you don't agree on the distribution part. Okay, but you don't think that the whole wasiat is challengeable, no. Okay, bukan seluruh, if you challenge only this one part, whole wasiat will be challenged, no, only that one part. Okay, so if they say everyone is okay, agree, then it can be executed. Okay, so understand everyone, the first way is follow 1/3. Second way, follow your own distribution. And the third way is where you said that, oh, I don't want gaduh-gaduh. Okay, I just want to die in peace lah. Okay, just follow faraid. Whatever Mahkamah Syariah has issued, just follow that one. So you just take the form, you can see follow faraid portion. So you just tick. So once later on during execution, the faraid sijil dah keluar, so you just follow exactly. Okay, so that is the distribution under wasiat. So I hope I answer your questions, like Kok Hong and Lui, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, all right. So maybe you guys ask why need wasiat. Dari sini the Muslim akan tanya, then tak payahlah buat wasiat. I buat wasiat pun I nak do my own distribution, someone still challenge. Kalau anak I tak bagi, how? Then tak payahlah, lupakanlah, I don't want to do wasiat. Boleh control 1/3 saja, and last anything still subject to faraid. Faraid need to have the consent. So from here, you counter terus your clients. You counter your clients. Yes, I know you buat wasiat still can be challenged, but you still need to know importance of having wasiat. So from here, you counter again your clients. Okay, you don't like, ayo, you pun give up, tak nak bagi lagi advice. So what is the advantage of writing wasiat? So you know that, okay, I know that when you do a wasiat, maybe some of your family member does not agree. But we need to know the importance on the estate administration. I know when it comes to the distribution, it might be hard for your family members. But at least when you have a wasiat, at least you already choose your own executor and trustees. So at least at the first part, on the front part, they can do their own work first. Okay, they can take all the asset, they can collect all the asset, they can do, everything at the high court, mak pejabat tanah. At least they already get all the asset, and if they get the asset, they can, settle your debt first. Okay, only the part where become the distribution, only that time. So you need to counter your client, saying that you do a wasiat, at least you already choose your executor. If you don't have a wasiat, so you go back to the estate process whereby your family members kena bincang sama-sama. Kalau tak setuju, semua gaduh, lagi susah. Okay? So expedite the distribution process. So if let's say semua agree, so lagi cepat. Okay? And exception of two sureties. This is also why we want to avoid these two sureties. So if let's say you know your client worth a lot of asset, so we want you to avoid these two sureties. Okay, we don't want your family members, to have conflict, kena cari sureties, susah untuk cari sureties, and no one wants to be your sureties. So this is why you need to have a wasiat. And then appointment of guardian. So guardian children. So if let's say you already appoint your own minor guardian. So at least if you pass away together with your spouse, you already have a guardian where you really trust them. Okay? And declaration of harta sepencarian. Even harta sepencarian, this one I think I will go on the next chapter lah. We will go on the harta sepencarian. Settlement of debt. So macam I told you before, when you already choose executor, at least your executor can do their part first. Okay, collect asset, settle all the debts. So can settle all the debts. Ini kalau tak ada wasiat, administrator pun susah, nak settle debts lagi susah. Okay, because of course bila sampai debts dia semua buat-buat diam. Semua tiba-tiba lari sana, lari sini, tak nak ambil tahu. Tiba-tiba when come to nak distribute, semua sibuk. That one is normal. So at least when you have your own executor, they can do their job first. Okay? And allocation of estate to non-faraid heirs. So if let's say you ada anak angkat, at least you can give something to them by declare in the wasiat. And lastly, manage family dispute. Of course, maybe in terms of distribution part, maybe it can have some family dispute. But during all the estate administration, when your executor wants to do all the job, at least there's nothing, the beneficiaries cannot cut out on doing this thing. Okay, at least only executor will do it. Okay, so you need to counter your clients the advantage of really having to have a wasiat. Okay, so these are some of the advantage. Okay, revocation of wasiat. So can you revoke a wasiat or a will? Yes, you can revoke a wasiat and you can revoke your will. Okay, actually, you tak payah nak revoke simply pun tak apa. When you do a new one, so the previous one will revoke automatically. Okay, but what if ada juga nak revoke serta-merta? Okay, because we do have one case where these clients actually he married another wife. Okay, he married another wife. So in his previous wasiat got his ex-wife names. So I already explained saying that actually if let's say you already divorced with the first wife, so your first wife will get nothing. But this client insists that I don't want to see her name inside my wasiat. Okay, so we say that okay, then we need to rewrite. So of course, when we write, it takes time also. Okay, you need to have the first draft, and then after draft, then we only sign. So he said, I do not want that. Okay, what if when I just go out from this office, then suddenly I pass away? So of course, this wasiat will take over. So we already give the consequences saying that he said that I tak ada wasiat pun tak apalah. So he really insists that he don't want wasiat. So we already advise him clearly say the consequences, but he insists to revoke the current wasiat. So we don't have a choice. We already give our best advice, but he still wants to revoke. So on that day, he revoked the current wasiat. So he needs to do black and white lah. Okay, so black and white, sign everything. So means revoke. So during that time, he doesn't have any wasiat because it's already revoked. But luckily, he's still there and he's managed to sign the new wasiat. Okay, so that is one of the case lah, revocation of wasiat. Okay, but if you don't want to revoke, if you want to revoke your previous one, you can just write a new one. Okay, but please remember, any wasiat that you did, you just inform your beneficiaries. Okay, you don't need to let them know what is the details in the wasiat. You just let them know I have a will. That's it. At least they know, because some beneficiaries, they don't know that the parents have the will. Okay, because I'm not sure why they don't want to tell, because they think that the other family members know about this, but the children does not have any idea that the father have a will. Okay, so just tell all your family members. Okay, all right. So effect on nomination. Okay, so nomination on Muslims is different with non-Muslim. Please remember, you jangan advise you punya client cakap, oh don't worry, EPF you dah nominate, it will give to the nominate. No. Okay, for us Muslim, yes, we still can do nominations, but any nominees that we name is only our trustees. Dia hanyalah pemegang amanah sahaja. So now, of course, I have EPF. Okay, maybe I have some insurance. Okay, so this all insurance, EPF, tabung haji, I name a nomination. Okay, so nominations, I name only one person, which is my husband. Okay, but I need to take note for my husband lah. I said, okay, husband, I already named you as my nomination, okay, in my EPF tabung haji, but you need to know you are not the 100% receive all these monies, okay? So you need to let them know that you are only the trustees. You hanya pemegang amanah. Okay, the reason us to do this nomination because we want it to be faster lah. You know, when you nominate, you dapat duit lagi cepat. 1 to 2 weeks dah boleh dapat. So the main reason you do nomination is because I cakap dengan my husband, if let's say upon my death, I ada hutang lagi. Okay, apa-apa hutang yang I ada, please use this money to settle all my debts first. That is the important part. So I need him to settle all my debts. Then only any balance. Okay? If ada balance and I do wasiat, if I do give instruction over there, example, I cakap tabung haji, I want to give to my father ke, so you follow my wasiat. Okay, but you need to remember, you need to have consent from all my family members. Okay, so why I name one person only in my nomination? Because I do not want any argument. Okay, because why? Last time we do have collaboration with EPF, we do have event. So we trustees, we ask EPF, what is the best solution for a Muslim to nominate? Okay, so they said for Muslim, it's better that you don't name any minor children who is 18 years old and below, because if let's say you pass away, the minor children will automatically revoke. Okay, and they said that they have a lot of case whereby ada satu case lah, they share that this son ada EPF. Okay, so he nominate his mother, his own mother, and he not managed to update dia punya nomination lah when he get married. Okay, so suddenly the son pass away. So of course the nomination is the mother. Alright. So the mother macam cannot accept it, and then she thinks that all the monies belong to her. Okay, whereby all the EPF workers semua dah cakap, actually you are just a nomination, so you need to follow faraid or wasiat if he has done a wasiat. But this mother really insists, do not wants to follow. She said that, no, this is my money. My son already nominate me. Okay, so this is my money. I will not give anything to my daughter-in-law. Dia tak nak bagi. I think maybe they have some issue lah. Okay, but that is family issue. But from our side, ini dah salah guna lah. Okay, means for us Muslim, you already macam makan harta orang lain, which is not good. Okay, so EPF already done their best to advise, but they do not have a power untuk take the money lah, because when you nominate, you just give. You cannot take it back. Okay, so EPF said, and then gaduh lah dekat EPF semua. The daughter-in-law, of course, she also want her portion, but the mother-in-law still insist tak nak bagi. So this is why is the importance of nomination. Okay, so that's why from that case, I take, you know lah, I take some of the advantage of the case, saying that, okay, I don't want to nominate anyone. I just nominate one person, because for Muslim, I know that only a trustees. Okay, I do not want later on, I letak my father lah, I letak my mother, I letak orang ni, I letak orang ni. Then it's still the same. You still subject to faraid. For Muslim, you still subject to faraid. Okay, so I don't want later on, I mati, gaduh sini, gaduh sana, orang ni nak ambil ini nak ambil ini, semua salah faham. So in my case, I'm not sure whether later you can advise your client also, you just nominate one person. Senang kan, you know, settlekan issue you dulu, senang, mudahkan you punya urusan juga. Okay, so that's why my husband also nominate myself also nominate my husband, that's it. So, but both of us know that we are only nominees. Okay, we are only trustees. So we said that anything happens to me, you settle all my debts first. So ada balance ke apa, you baru, give to Faraid members, follow my wasiat if I have wasiat lah. Okay, so this is the nomination on Muslim. Okay, so a bit tedious lah, tapi this is the truth. Okay, sebab still ada Muslim lagi fikir when you nominate person in the nomination, they think that everything goes to them. Actually, it's not. They are just trustees. Okay. Alright. So next we go to harta pencarian. It's 11:42, so I need to go fast. Okay, because I need to go some Q&A. Okay. So what is harta pencarian? Alright. So the origin of matrimonial asset is come from Malay adat. So actually, it's come from the Mahkamah Syariah lah. Okay. So you cannot find harta pencarian in other country. Okay. So this is custom. This custom is accepted by our ulama in Malaysia and already become part of Sharia law. Okay, and it helps a lot in solving the problem of acquiring wealth between husband and wife. Okay, so when you hear harta sepencarian, like last time, this lately lah, ada one case Datuk, I lupa nama Datuk tu apa, tapi mostly the wife win the harta sepencarian case lah. Okay. So when you hear harta sepencarian is actually between husband and wife. Okay, bila you dengar harta sepencarian, it's between husband and wife. It's not between husband and mother ke, no. It's not husband, daughter, husband, son, no. It's between husband and wife. Okay, that's why kita panggil harta sepencarian, matrimonial asset. Okay, so it's the property you acquired is during the subsistence of a valid marriage. Okay, please remember this. And both parties have contributed either directly or indirectly towards the acquisition of such property. Okay, so what is actually harta sepencarian? Okay, I bagi you a very simple punya case lah. Example now, I dah kahwin with my husband. Alright, so during our marriage, after 1 year, we buy a new property. Okay, I beli property dekat KL lah. So this property is already considered as our harta sepencarian. Okay, simple, right? Very simple, very direct. But before I kahwin, example, I belum kahwin, I dengan my boyfriend, tapi my boyfriend already buy a property and then we get married. So this property is not under harta sepencarian because my boyfriend buy before our marriage. Okay, so very direct. So at least you will have this generic punya statement lah. Okay, so after married, we bought property together. Even if let's say only your husband yang beli, it's still considered as harta sepencarian. Okay. Example, direct contribution, husband and wife. Example, the property is 800,000. Okay, so direct contributions mean both of the wife and the husband contribute together. Okay, bayar sama-sama. Okay, half-half. So very direct. So when you want to claim the matrimonial asset, very senang because we see that amount that you pay, direct contribution. But what if indirect? Means rumah ni still 800K, your husband paid for everything. Every single cent dia bayar for this house. Okay, so the wife is housewife lah, means didn't contribute anything to this house in terms of money. Okay, but don't worry, even you are a housewife, you still have the right to take the matrimonial asset. Okay, so how this housewife want to, claim harta sepencarian? So these are some of the examples of indirect contributions. So these examples can be used at the High Court lah, Mahkamah Syariah, sorry. Okay, so moral support to the husbands, enhancing the husband's social standing due to their marriage, peace of mind to the husband, educating the children, maintaining and caring for the home or the husband properties, minimizing home expenses. So it's a bit hard for the housewife to claim a huge share on the property, but they still can get some of the harta sepencarian. Okay, compared that they paid together 400,000. Okay, so but still can claim. So you have some situation where you can claim harta sepencarian. Okay, please remember this. Okay, the first one, if your husband passed away. Okay, if your spouse lah pass away, your wife ke your husband. So any of the surviving, they can claim harta sepencarian. Okay, when you pass away. The second situation is if the husband married more than one without the first wife consent. So, if let's say suddenly tiba-tiba dah setahun, the first wife just knew that the husband married more than one. So this first wife can claim harta sepencarian even during lifetime. Okay, so many cases lah, you boleh just Google up cases on the harta sepencarian, memang banyak. Okay, it's not only lepas you mati, no, it can be during your lifetime. If let's say you tahu you punya husband married more than one. And then the last one, if you declare in the wasiat lah. Okay, even if you not declare, your spouse still boleh claim harta sepencarian. Tapi if you declare dalam wasiat, lagi better. Okay? Because usually if you declare when during execution, you need to know for us Muslim, before we want to distribute all our asset to our family members, okay, to all our faraid heirs, they will go to harta sepencarian first. Okay, so Mahkamah Syariah akan datang dulu. They say, okay, is there any matrimonial asset? Is there harta sepencarian untuk, untuk dibincangkan ke apa? Diorang akan bincang lah. Okay, so if the wife say, yes, I think maybe I want to claim this one property. Okay, under harta sepencarian. So from there baru dibicarakan. Baru minta bukti ke why you want to claim this property. So kena bagi all the examples lah, all the contributions. Okay, so harta sepencarian is not only after your lifetime. No, it's during your lifetime. Boleh juga if you know that your husband married more than one. Last time, I think most of the women tak berani nak buat lah. Okay, because of course you want to have the case also, you need to pay some of the lawyers. But nowadays case, you dah boleh baca banyak case whereby bila diorang tahu the husband married more than one, they fight for it. Okay, they fight for their harta sepencarian. Okay, so this is harta sepencarian. Okay, so how can harta sepencarian can be claimed? Like I mentioned, included in the wasiat. Because why? Why we said it's protected for the wife mostly? Because when you go and count faraid distribution, the least distribution will get to the wife. Only 1/8, something like that. Okay, very least from the son, very least from the daughter. Okay, maybe you think, ayo, the wife sudah married 40 years tapi still get least. Okay, they have a reason behind it. So that's why we have this harta sepencarian. So harta sepencarian, at least it can protect your wife to get some of the huge distribution. Because macam I bincang tadi, before you distribute to your family members, harta sepencarian akan datang dulu. Okay, so included into the wasiat. Okay, maximum up to 50% of the estate, requires no proof of contribution. Okay, the next one, claim through Syariah court. Okay, for harta sepencarian, it's not through High Court, it's under Syariah court during application for sijil faraid. So when you want to apply sijil faraid, you need to claim you need to claim together with harta sepencarian. Okay. And even so, the percentage of the matrimonial asset is depends on decision by the judge and proof of contribution. Example, suri rumah, saya cakap dia housewife, did not contribute any single cents. But maybe she said that I want to have a contribution of 50%. I want to claim up to, example, 70%. So of course the High Court, the Syariah court akan review one by one why you need up to 70%. What are your contributions? So actually all depends decision by the judge. Okay, so this is harta sepencarian. And what are the assets that cannot deem as harta sepencarian? Okay, first, inheritance. Example, the husband father just passed away, maybe a billionaire, and then receive a huge inheritance. So this inheritance cannot be put under harta sepencarian. Okay, the next one, hibah. Okay, so if let's say husband have do one hibah, for example to the mother, okay, this property I nak bagi mother, I buat hibah for mother. Okay, so this hibah cannot be deemed under harta sepencarian, it will be exclude. Okay, and lastly EPF. So EPF also cannot be deemed as harta sepencarian. Okay, but if let's say you dah take out the money, you dah make it as investment ke apa, then it's okay. But if let's say it's still under EPF punya account, it cannot put as harta sepencarian. Okay, so this is some information on the harta sepencarian. Okay, so I think we have end to our session. Kita akan go one by one on the Q&A. Okay, I think some of my colleague already answered the questions. Kejap ya, I go one by one first. What if, alright, what if, yeah, so thank you Nicole. Nicole say if let's say you nak female to become your witness, maybe you tak suka lelaki ke, you don't trust any man in this world, so we need to have 4 females. Okay, so during drafting, you need to confirm with your client first. If let's say your client Muslim lah, okay, female, kata okay, who will be your witness? Okay, so kalau kata tu Muslim man, then okay lah. If let's say 4, you kata I nak perempuan, semua 4, please inform our drafter. Okay, because our drafter need to add another column to have another additional witnesses. So please for wasiat confirm with your client first before finalize the will. Okay. Alright, so this one, EPF can override wasiat. Okay, Ida Fazina, EPF beneficiaries can override wasiat. Okay, beneficiaries mean you maksud you nominees ke? Okay, if I say nominees, okay, EPF example, I name my husband as the nominees. Tapi dalam wasiat, I cakap I nak bagi to my daughter. Okay, so anything nominees akan datang dulu. EPF, apa-apa nomination, you ada takaful, polisi, insurance ke, nominees akan datang dulu. So EPF will pay all these monies to my husband, and then my husband baru follow wasiat ke, baru follow faraid. Okay, so if let's say I namakan dalam wasiat contohlah my ayah I tak boleh ambil duit EPF ni langsung. So husband I yang akan dapat duit dulu. Okay, sama juga macam non-Muslim. Okay, it's still kita panggil dia supersede the wasiat lah, tapi cara distribution is different. Okay. Okay, so Eng Chin Liang need sureties. Okay, thank you Cheryl. Cheryl already answered. Okay, Tan Aichu, should we advise Muslim client to make sure the nominee in EPF same in wasiat? Okay, Tan Aichu, actually it's very good. This one you can advise your Muslim client if let's say it's a same person, but you need to know when you write in wasiat, it's actually for distribution. When you name your nominees in EPF, it's actually a nominees only. So if let's say nominees you husband, okay, tapi you kata beneficiaries pun you nak husband you yang receive. Yes, you can do that, but you need to have the consent from all the faraid members. So if let's say my son agree, my fathers agree, you remember the primary group. So all this primary group agree, then can give everything to my husband. Sebab macam saya cakap, nomination will supersede the will. Okay, so any monies will give to these nominees first. Okay, so this is the reason lah Tan Aichu. Tapi if let's say you nak orang sama pun boleh, tapi wasiat ni is more on the distribution part. Okay, so if let's say you still wants to give to your husband, still can, tapi need to have the consent from all the faraid members. Okay, so Jun Jian Lo, for foreigner Muslim, does yes, of course. As long you are duduk dekat Malaysia, you residing in Malaysia, you need to follow all Malaysian law. Even Syariah punya law pun you kena ikut. Okay, but some other countries, they have a bit difference on their Islamic punya law. Tapi as long you are here in Malaysia, as long you nak execute your wasiat in Malaysia, you need to follow the Malaysian Sharia law. Okay? You tak boleh follow, if let's say lah, Canada have a bit different about the Islamic law, you want to follow the Canada one, cannot. Okay? Okay, stamping, Lee Kok Sen, I think Jeffrey have answered your question. Okay, for the stamping, thank you, Jeffrey. Without the... Okay, Eng Chin Liang, the wasiat and faraid distribution in Malaysia only apply to Malaysian estate. How about estate in overseas? Okay, this one macam I jawab tadi. If let's say your asset is in Malaysia, so you need to follow Malaysian punya law. Okay, if let's say your asset is outside Malaysia, you need to follow their law lah. Sama juga macam non-Muslim. If you as a non-Muslim, you have asset in Singapore, so you do the resealing of the will or wasiat, you still need to follow their law. Okay, so semua lain. So if you ada wasiat sini, first thing you follow Malaysian law. If let's say you ada asset, you need to follow the country punya law. Okay. Alright, so Ida Fazlina, sorry, the two witness better to get from client's contact or how? Okay, it's actually up to the clients lah. Okay, usually kalau paling terdekat pun your relative, you know, your family members lah. Tapi jangan your beneficiaries and your immediate family members. So maybe kawan-kawan yang paling rapat, your punya relative, better to become the witness lah, because witness ni the lawyer will call up after the execution. They still need to come. Okay, so Ida, for your non-Muslim, actually estate planner pun you can be one of the witness. Tapi for Muslim, if let's say ada relative ke orang yang terdekat, is better that way lah. Okay, in the case, okay, thank you Jeffrey. Okay. My colleague have show you the KWSP punya, so you can take a look on the link and read for the EPF in wasiat. EPF nomination. Okay, so any questions so far before we end the refresher course today? Chomping, what is the example of harta sepencarian? Okay, chomping harta sepencarian, it can be everything except this one loh, except this one. Give, receive the way of inheritance, hibah, and EPF. So everything can be under harta sepencarian. Okay, it can be your property, it can be your vehicles, tapi semua tu you need to make sure that you buy all the asset after you're married. Okay, so if let's say you buy this property before you're married, but when come to the execution, so the Sharia court will review it. When you buy this house, is this house is valid for harta sepencarian or not? Okay, so example, any of the asset can be put under harta sepencarian except these three lah. Inheritance, hibah, and EPF. Okay, alright. Okay. Yes, Shin Cheong, correct. Cheryl, thank you, Cheryl. So nominee in EPF of a Muslim member is just a trustees, okay, not a beneficiaries. Okay, they are just trustees, different with non-Muslim. Macam you guys non-Muslim buat nominees, you name your husband example. So husband you will get everything. He can use any of the money. Tapi for us Muslim like. So if my husband name me, I only as a trustees. I cannot use all of the money. Okay. All right. So any questions so far before we end our refresher course for Islamic estate planning? Okay, so if not, thank you so much everyone for the questions you asked, and I hope that you guys get some input for this refresher course. So if you guys have any inquiries, you guys can just drop email, or you can just reach to your respective business development team. Okay, so thank you so much everyone, and have a good lunch break. Okay, thank you.